Good morning. It's early morning, and you might be able to hear it in my voice. When they wake up early in the morning. But anyway, it's early morning, and we're getting some work done. And we need electricity, as you all know. And okay, so we have the pole up, not this one. That's for our gate, but we have the pole up, and across the street here. Across the street there is our neighbor's property, and they gave us permission. They allowed us to put a pole on their property, which would cause the trees that they had on their property to be cut down. And so they were so nice and gracious to allow us to do that because they didn't have to. And so because of buying raw land and not having any electricity here, we have to get permission of the person that owned the land across from us to allow us to do this to their property because they had trees here. This is just raw land that they have that they don't use. They just cut it, but they allowed us to do that. And then of course we had to get trees cut on our property to put the pole on our property. We decided to go underground. And the reason we decided to go underground is because we have a lot of trees. And one of the selling points for us was the trees that were on our property that we wanted to create, that creates a privacy for us. And so we did not want all the trees to be cut down, nor or so many trees to be cut down, not all the trees, but so many trees to be cut down, which would not allow us to have the privacy that we wanted, or in addition to create a mess for us to clean up. We could burn it and wait till November to burn, because that's the month they're allowed to burn, as well as, what's the other thing? We could burn it or have it hauled off. We didn't want the mess, nor wanted to wait, and again, that's us. Did not want to wait till November and have all this mess on our property for us to burn. And we ain't never burned in our life. This is the first time for everything. So we decided to do underground. We did the pricing. Underground is more expensive than doing it overhead. But when we priced hauling the amount of trees that they would have to cut down and what it would cost for us to do underground, we went with underground. It was an extra expense that we did not plan for, but we wanted to keep the trees. That was very important to us. So in order to do that, we have to have trenching done. And so the trenching has to be done. So there's another expense of paying for the machine, and you can do it yourself. So we had to rent a machine and have a friend of ours do the trenching for us. He's also a plumber, goes to our church. Having a church family is great. Having people that do certain things that you already know that you can trust is also even wonderful. But anyway, so he's doing the trenching for us. My husband's at work, so he could not do it. And we want it to be done as soon as possible so that we can get electricity on the property. And so that's what's going on right now. All these are extra expenses. Going underground is an extra expense. Most people wouldn't do underground, they would do overhead, and that's cheaper. And one thing that we did not know, and as it relates to electricity, we did not know that we had to have property on the location that is livable for us to have electricity. And I mentioned that before, that we didn't have an issue putting a water meter in to get water running, but when it came to electricity, they needed a property to be on the land that is livable. And so check those things out. We did not know that, which created some delays for us on certain things, but everything worked out. And so that's what's happening today. We're getting the trenching done today so we could run the pipe down, I believe, and there's something called conduit. And so it's a long driveway, so it's like 550 feet. I think we just need 500 feet for him to trench. So the longer the driveway, the more cost that can come with it. And so be mindful if you're looking for land and you want to have a long driveway and you want to build further down versus if you build closer to the road. And that's why you see more houses that are closer to the road than you see houses that have a long driveway, because it comes with some expenses. And so that's what we're doing now. So I'll have you see what he's doing. Another thing I wanted to mention, the machine for him to do the trenching cost $650. When my husband went on Facebook Market to find people that can do the trenching and told them how long the driveway was, they quoted $7,000. $7,000. So you're looking at $7,000 possible expense of trenching underground, not including the price that you pay the electricity company, which is about $3,000. $3,000 for them to come, have people cut the trees down, put the pole up. I guess they might do the wire down. I think we got to confirm that. But the services that people come into your property, do certain things, you're paying for that. So $3,000 plus $7,000 if you had somebody do the work for a long driveway, as long as ours. We're talking about $10,000. That's not in the budget, right? And that's not even with building your house. That's not even building your house. So instead of paying $7,000, which was the average quote that he got from multiple people, we rented a machine. Even somebody said it's cheaper for you just to rent a machine and do it yourself. And so we rented a machine, and we're gonna pay our friend for coming out and doing the service for us. But we're talking about $7,000 compared to $1,200, right? $1,200. God has blessed us with people to help us out when we cannot, for things that we cannot do or don't have the time to do it. And so we're just thankful for that. But if you do it yourself, or have a friend or a church friend to do it, family, then it'll only cost you the price of the machine. But know what you're doing. Because you want to bring the machine back the way you got it, right? And so these are things that you want to think about. We did not think about that price of paying. So $3,000 to the electrical company, plus $650 to rent it, $600 to pay our friend, who's also doing some other work for us. He's a plumber. And so we're looking at $4,000 and that's at $250. See why we went mobile home? Because all these things are adding up. And then to pave gravel to the long driveway, other added expense to that. And we paid a good amount because they had to come several times because the long driveway, and then we put a wide amount of gravel closer to the house where the RV is, where we're staying at, because that's also going to be parking space, hangout space also. And so you see where the cost starts adding up and adding up and adding up. It adds up. And so you have to determine what are the things that you're going to sacrifice, and what are the things that you're going to pay for, and what are the things you hold off on, and what are the things that you're going to just wait and pay as you go, and don't mind staying in an RV or wherever you're staying for the meantime until you get things going. And that's fine too, because this thing, if you decide to wait for every single thing, may take a year to 2 years to 3 years. And if you're patient with that, that's good. If you're not, then you're going to have to make some decisions, which might allow you to get into some debt because you want to go, depending on how much money you saved or how much money you have. But we sold a house, so that helped. But I'm not saying that it covered every single thing. We did have some savings and we sold our house, but the money starts dwindling really quick. So that's why the Bible says count the cost. Before you build, count the cost. And it makes so much sense. And they said whatever you think it is, add about 30% to that cost. So if you think it's going to cost you $150 for everything, make it a flat $200. Make it a flat $200,000. So again, start thinking and pray. And he could just say, God got it. God got it. I ain't about to worry about this. God got it. God, you'll provide, right? You'll provide. Okay, so these are something that I wanted to share with y'all as you consider the things that might come into play. Everybody's situation would be different. They may not have a long driveway. They might know how and have so many skills to do certain things. They might have some hookups. So think about all of those things. I hope you guys heard me. All right, I'll share more as we come across different things. All right, bye-bye.